a good exercise which really help to go through a couple variation of chords that is common to jazz and gospel. Let me just play through it quickly. What I'm going to do is probably play through a few things that people would have already known I would have played, whether on Instagram or on my show or something. Not anything per se new. So we can relate and we can ask questions as I'm playing and all of that.
Yo, Audale, you use a whole heap of chromaticism, but me know say he's not really a man where. Well, I don't
Mm.
know. This might be wrong of me to assume, but there's a time when you tell me say you don't really do the scales. Yeah, practice chromatic scales are how important the chromatic scale is to your singing. So you do a whole heap of chromatic stuff.
They really can sound chromatic, but I wouldn't. Yeah, they sound chromatic, but I don't see them from a chromatic standpoint. It's more like if the bass notes them, yeah, they're kind of moving in circles, and circles and chromatic kind of work well, you know. So, for example, tritones, let me say we play C and the third and the seventh. Um, so C and it's third and seventh, F, B flat, and the tritones move chromatic, in a chromatic way, but the bass notes not necessarily, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, moving fourths or fifths, depending on how you look at it. Um, so in that sense, there's chromatism, but not necessarily everything. What you'll hear probably is a tritone just moving, but in terms of what the extensions are, is not necessarily chromatic. A good exercise which really help to go through a couple variation of chords that is common to jazz and gospel. Let me just play through it quickly. And some persons I would have maybe shown a few persons on here already, probably in a personal setting, but not many persons would know it. So basically, there's a progression to it, and it's basically what happens. I'm using the major scale as the melody. Right, the major scale is the melody, and the progression is basically 1 4 6 1 4 3 6 2 2 5 1. So that's basically the movement, the progression. So the chords. So out of this exercise, you would naturally go through a few voicings and chords. I know there's one that generally what people use, something like this, one like that. But that runs through diminution and mm, major six chords and all of that. But this one here, you get to go through 13s, sharp nines, which is really a 13 voicing, flat nines and flat 9, 13, and all of that. So the first chord, so it start with a, the inversion, first inversion, C, other A, that's the C chord, and then is a F chord. So bearing in mind we keep the major scale melody, F13. If anybody want to know about the compound intervals, or why we call stuff 13s and 9s and all that, you can just say, so we can talk a little about it. So C6, F13, E13, right, C6, F13, E flat, A, D, then E13, D, G sharp, C sharp, E, and then A sharp 9, D11, and then D flat 9. And if we can play this out, one F sharp, F sharp C, D sharp A, and then G13 flat 9. So that's like a E key chord over G bass, and then back to C. Right? So let me just, and you really want to practice this in every key.
Sorry, quick question. How you know what type of quality to give the chords in terms of what? Why did you pick it to be like a dominant 13 or you get me, like a major or minor?
All right. Good question. I didn't put a theory to it though. What I did was to listen. That's what I did. Listen to what I like. But I really tried to get out. What I was trying to do in creating it was to get out some of the major chords that we would probably use, whether in church or in gospel. I mean, church or in a jazz setting, gospel or jazz setting, and pocket that in our exercise. And it was based on that. So you could use other kind of things and get them. But for example, like the one I was playing earlier, this one. So I'm sure there is some level of theory, but right now the theory is the based on the progression 1, 4, 3, 6, 2, 2, 5, 1. Right? So I'm really following the melody, and that's a thing I do. I don't think I theorize a lot of the stuff. I really follow the melody, but I know what a flat 9 sounds like. I know what a sharp 9 would sound like. I know what a flat 9 would sound like.
Can you explain why you call the notes 13th again?
Yeah, man. All right. So C major chord, it's really simple. You have a C major chord, and you can't use, if I add the 2 up here, it's not really a 9. It's like a C2. Right? Like a sus2 chord, but if you add the 7th of the major scale, C major 7th, so C major over the 7th. Once you go over the octave, you now call this 9 instead of 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But if you don't have the 7th, I'd say if you don't have the 7th, it is just a C chord with a 2, right? Like some C sus or sus2, something like that. But once you have the 7th in the chord, the interval, the compound intervals kind of come into play now. And if you omit the seventh, you hear the difference, right? When you add the seventh or the dominant seven, right? If you remove that seventh, you hear the difference. So the seventh really give character. I mean, the third does as well, but I'd say the seventh. Because we don't normally leave out the third, but some people might leave the seventh out. So 2 is 9, 3 is 10, 4 is 11. And that meaning once you go over the octave, so 2 is now 9, 3 is 10, 4 is 11. We don't really say 12, we just say the 5th. And then 6 is 13, right? So if I'm playing C and I add the third, I mean the flatted 7 or the dominant, add the third and the 6, this is no longer like just 6, this is 13. Because the dominant is now in play. The dominant 7 or the 7, any 7 really. The 7th is in play. And so now we start to use 13s and all of that. You cannot do 13, sharp 11, flat 9, sharp 11, 13. Hope that is clear. So once you have the 7th in the chord, it starts to shape the character of the extensions. Otherwise, I mean, if I play a C7 chord like the C, E, B flat and add the D above, the D chord above, that's just naturally a sharp 11 with a 13th. But let's say I just play a C bass and a D chord, that's a D7 chord. That's like a D dominant 7. Understand? So once I add the 7th here and the 3rd, and you can hear that without the root. I play a lot of chords like these, a lot of rootless chords. Some are, the 3rd and the 7th normally moving, or different things, different simple things in the left hand, which really bring some color out. So hopefully that's clear. Is that clear in terms of the extensions? So I hope we saw the exercise. Let's just go through it a little bit. Also, if you notice how I voice the left hand stuff, just take note of that. Sicko?
What was the chord you played about the 4 there, so?
The 4?
Yeah.
As in the 4 bass?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, F13. So the 13 naturally is the second.
No. Another so.
Let me play it again.
Yeah. Oh, the 6. Sorry. Over the 6. That chord there.
Oh, yeah, man. Sharp 9, A sharp 9.
Oh.
With a flat 13. The F sharp would be the 13. I played that wrong. Yeah, it would be the 13, but yeah, right. So I have the F.
Yeah, the 13 would work over dominant.
The sharp 9, over a sharp 9 voicing like this, yeah, the 13, not so nice over that.
Yeah.
And then, I do that with the I'm very comfortable with. So a lot of the times I'm playing a lot of, in terms of intervals, just root and the 7th. Sometimes I voice them like this: the first, the fifth, the third, and then they're just rootless voicing.
Mercy, mercy. Jesus.
God Almighty, man.
Who is at church? Would you please turn off your mic? Thank you.
So we'll go through all of the major scales with that. So it really
And so the voicings would remain the same as well? Or
yeah, man, everything remain the same. Everything remain the same. Same voicings, and you just practice with a major scale like that. So you get a good handle of it in the different keys, and you can recognize the chords in songs in the different keys. Because I think for me, it was hard to see certain shapes in certain keys, but with exercises like these and other intense practicing, transposing became easy, and by transposing, just to change the key and go wherever. Keys. Play the part again. I never let me play before, I don't really remember exactly. So that's how that song.
The exercise that you just showed us.
Yeah, man.
You used some of those chords in.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they're mixed in all kind of ways. Yeah, man. So here it is, the exercise in F. All right. So I mean, you'd see. Let me see. That's the one chord right there that I would use.
Could do the exercise in F again, please.